Hi, I'm DeQuincy, and we're going to be watching an extrication drill. This is number 2 in a series of 2. This involves 2 rescuers and 2 trained staff and a backboard. They'll be rescuing an adult victim that is submerged, passive, and non-spinal, facing the rescuers at a depth of 6 feet. We're going to watch the drill, and then we're going to come back and do a breakdown for the benefit of those new lifeguard instructors and in-service trainers. Here we go.
Alright, rescuers ready? Victim, submerge. Yep.
Ready, hold. 1, 2, 3, up. One more time.
Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on. See what works and what can be improved upon. We've got our 2 rescuers. Both have their rescue tubes and whistles. We've got our 2 trained staff with the backboard standing and ready to go. I'm going to make a comment about this later on in regards to setting up drill progressions and why this drill, where the rescuers and where the trained staff are, is important for drill progression and development. Alright, so let's go see where the victim is. She's at the second line. She's going to submerge, get down on the bottom, and then from here what we're going to see is primary rescuer is identified. She's ready to enter the water. Secondary is going to join her. They both enter the water. You'll notice that their position, the primary is slightly farther ahead with the secondary staggered behind. The role of the primary is going to be to make contact with the victim, prep the victim, and get them ready to be received by the secondary rescuer who's at the surface. So let's see how this happens. Boom. As the victim surfaces, you'll know that the primary rescuer pushed the victim up, put them into a modified head splint so that they're streamlined, ready to go. The secondary rescuer is going to do a log roll, rolling the person over, nice and smooth, uninterrupted, and passes to the 2 trained staff. From here, the secondary rescuer is going to stabilize the board from the side of the deck, and the primary rescuer is going to swim up and stabilize the victim at the feet as the 2 trained staff bring the victim up onto the deck. Nicely done. Let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on with the 2 trained staff and the board. Alright, we saw this in the first video. They're going to be placing the board at an angle, so it's more like a ramp rather than a vertical position. They're stabilizing the board with their feet, and there's some really nice symmetry going on here, both with the foot that stabilizes, the back foot that's going to carry a lot of the weight, their arms that are holding the board, and their hands that are going to be grabbing the victim. All very symmetrical. Alright? And then they bring the victim up. Nice. Let's go back and look at that whole motion again. Alright? So we see the 2 rescuers, body roll, pass, boom, and victims up on the deck. Really quick. Trained staff's going to move into providing patient care with a primary assessment, and they're going to determine the person has a pulse, but they're not breathing, and there's no severe bleeding. Now, I talked about this a little bit. If I was to do a drill progression here, you saw the 2 trained staff really close to the deck with the board. I would like to train that way always initially because I want the trained staff and the rescuers to know what the sweet spot is to give the best patient care, both in the rescue and the deck care. The progression would then follow, move the rescue board, or the backboard I should say, to its position during operations. That's going to give you a better estimate of what it needs to happen to get that board and the staff to the sweet spot. I'd also focus on changing up the victim's position, if they're going to be on the surface, if they're going to be submerged, if they're facing away or facing the rescuers. Those are all different positions and challenges that you could give this team and work on the progression. As we saw in the first video, they incorporated ventilations with a pocket mask and with a BVM. I would go back and figure out where you'd want to put those two components into this as well. You'll notice that most of the staff aren't wearing hip packs or pocket masks. I'd also incorporate that. Again, there's a lot of variables that you could put into this specific drill to enhance it or to make it a little more challenging. Please watch both videos in conjunction. Thanks a lot.